Hello, this is the next video in our series on document template management in Cobblestone Contract Insight. In this video, we're going to be talking about steps 2 and 3 in setting up a document template. 2 is setting up the document template in Microsoft Word, making sure all the placeholders are formatted correctly, and saving locally. And then step 3 is taking that finished template that lives in Microsoft Word and uploading it into the system. So right, we are in the Document Authoring Manager, and in the previous video, we walked through core setup and subtable setup. We'll be talking about approvals and signatures in a later video about the IntelliSign and document collaboration add-on module. And so we are just going to head over to Content Setup. There are two tabs under Content Setup, Mergeable Content and Attachments. So first, Mergeable Content is going to have all of the placeholders from the data points that we selected. So all of the fields you selected, all of the clause library references, the mergeable clauses, so on and so forth, everything that you had selected back in step 1 is now going to be a placeholder in this tab. So this is where all of those placeholders will be summarized. However, you should know that if you go back to core setup and go over into mergeable fields, you'll see the placeholders here you could copy. Same thing for clause library references and all these other placeholder types. You can just copy it directly from that area. But if you are interested in like a summarized area to see all of the placeholders, you can go to Content Setup and then down to Mergeable Content. And if you didn't watch the previous video, just as a refresher, what you're going to do is just click the copy button, jump over to your Microsoft Word document, and paste the placeholder wherever you want that text. So it's copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, okay? And that will determine where it's going to merge the data from the system. Now let's talk about formatting this document in a bit more detail. First, you need to know that the data will merge into the placeholders in exactly the format that the placeholders are in. So right here, the placeholders are in Calibri body 11, and they're in white in this case, so that's how it's going to merge. In this case, this counterparty name is in red, as I have red lines on, so it's going to merge in red. I'm going to remove that in this case, but still, that's the point here. If I made this bolded, it would merge bolded. If it was underlined, it would be underlined. So you want to make sure that all the text here is formatted properly, just like the rest of the document. Also, know that the squiggly brackets here are included in the text. So you want to make sure that there is a space between them. Like right here, if you could see my cursor between state, right about here, between state and zip code, there's a space, right? Between street and state, there's a comma and then a space. Between my conditional clauses, I have line breaks. So make sure this is all formatted properly, just like as if it were text. Otherwise, it will merge with any formatting discrepancies that you have in the document. You can take advantage of this, however, in the sense that if I did want say the effective date to be bolded when it's merged in the end, you'll just save this locally, and that would wrap up step 2. So at the end of step 2, you do have a finished document template. It just lives in Microsoft Word. So now in step 3, we're going to go upload this final version into Cobblestone. Now I'm going to fast forward a bit as I save this document, and I'll be back in the system in a moment. So now back in the system, let's work on step 3. We're still under Content Setup, and I want to move over to this Attachments tab. Click Add New Document, and you can add a web document, import a cloud file, or upload files. Most folks I work with, myself included, use upload files. So I'm going to click Upload Files, click Select, which will open up my local files. I'll double click one, and then I'll click Upload. So I'll fast forward a bit here too. Okay, now I'll just click Upload. And there you have it. We have our uploaded document template. Now, it is a bit anticlimactic, but really we are sort of done. That is the document template uploaded there. From here, you know, when I refer back to the first video in this series, I would now want to just jump over to a contract and test this out. Make sure all of the data merges successfully in the right place, the formatting is proper. So once you complete this, don't move on, go test it and make sure it's all merged successfully. And if it hasn't, come back to this page and troubleshoot it. So that wraps up the core content here of setting up a document template. That really does wrap up step 3, but let me talk about 2 other details. First, day to day, you can manage these document templates. It's really very straightforward to do. Just click this expand caret icon on the left-hand side, and you'll see the actual file that you had uploaded. And you can manage this individual file. You'll see the title of it, the version number, status, and the file type. If I head to the left-hand side and click Actions, I'll have this drop-down list, and I can click Edit to create new version. This is the easiest way that you can edit your document templates over time. So if I make edits to this, say, once a year, I can just come in here, make those changes, and I don't need to reinvent the wheel. I don't have to do this all again. I can just click Edit to create new version. I'll go to Continue, and I can make any changes that I want to here, right? Whatever I need to do, okay? There is a Cobblestone tab up at the top, which does contain your placeholders, the clause library, mergeable fields. Any of the placeholders you selected earlier are available in these tabs. So you could just do all that editing right from here. Here I'll click the clause library. I'll pop in a clause, and there we go. That's where I would use the clause in this situation. Okay. When you're done, you can change the name of this. Call this just test version 2. Head back to home and hit save. And then you'll notice this is now the new published version. Check it out, version 2, published, and the old one is automatically archived. That's my preferred way to edit document templates over time. You may also click this caret icon on like the master template and click add new version. So if you have updated versions of the template that happen to be stored locally, you could upload it this way. Okay. But I usually just do this in the system. Now, the last item I want to address is why this is called a document package template. And the reason is we can upload actually more than one document here. I just have my consulting agreement right now. And whenever I select this document package, this template day to day, it's just going to produce this one file. But I can upload more than one here if I want to. And so there's some great cases you would do that. So if you have any standard supporting documents that would be uploaded for every contract, or at least for every consulting agreement, I can upload those here. And I'll do that now. I'll just click add new document, upload files, and I'll select and upload a terms and conditions document, right? So there is my terms and conditions document. That's not a template, right? That doesn't have any placeholders in it, although it could be a template, but it's not in this case. This is the template, and this is a supporting document. I can have other addenda or exhibits or any other documents I choose to include here. I can most definitely have those uploaded here automatically. So whenever I create a document from my consulting agreement template, it will automatically attach this terms and conditions document. And this could be a PDF, but this happens to be a Word document. You can also do this with other templates. So I'll do this one more time. Now I've uploaded a mutual NDA template, and that is a template, right? It has placeholders inside of it. And now what I could do with this, slightly different situation, I could set conditions to it. And I can say, hey, if they don't already have an NDA, this is going to merge an NDA and attach that new NDA. So I would go to manage file rules and conditions, and I'd add a condition just like usual. So if you don't add conditions to them, it's always going to merge and attach that file. If you add conditions to it, it's only going to merge and attach that file, of course, if the conditions are met, right? So this is what we call a document package, right? You don't just have to create and upload one document in this document package template. You can have other standardized documents that are always used or other templates. It just depends on what you're looking for. Most folks just have one template, to be honest, but you can combine them. And I just want to go back to the very first section. This is why we could use the append Word documents feature. So if I put that to yes, that would theoretically be able to combine these 3 documents into one. right? It would append them. So it would have a large document that includes the consulting agreement, in this case, terms and conditions, and then the mutual NDA. Maybe you wouldn't all have those in one document, but that's what it would do in this case. And that's what you could use append Word documents for. If you have multiple Word documents that you need to append or combine, that's why you would use that. Okay, so we talked about that in the previous video, and this is where it comes full circle. This is where you can use that tool. So I hope this has been a helpful overview of how to use document templates. If you haven't watched the previous videos and you're a little confused about things we're addressing here in this one, I recommend starting over and watching those as well. Do some practice in the system and reach out to training@cobblestonesoftware.com with any questions. Thank you.